Good morning, dear students. Welcome back to our lesson, that is atoms and molecules. In my last video lecture, I had explained you everything related to the molecule. In today's topic, we are going to talk about ions. Actually, students, related to the ions in next topic, that is the structure of atom, you will learn more better. But here the reference has given, and it is important to know you what is meant by ion, so that we will talk about ion. Ions are the particles which are carrying positive or negative charges are called ions. Simply means the particles which are carrying either positive or the negative charges. Actually, students, we are knowing in atoms we have learned that atom is actually electrically neutral. Okay, atom is electrically neutral. Why it is said to be atom is electrically neutral? Here once again we will have a discussion in the next topic, that in the structure of atom, because the number of protons and the number of electrons are always equal, and as you know protons are always carrying positive charge and electrons are always carrying negative charge, and whenever if the same numbers of protons and same numbers of electrons are present, then it will result to zero. So atom is electrically neutral. Suppose any atom has two protons, means plus 2, and if two electrons minus 2, then plus 2 minus 2 equal to 0, and so that atom is actually said to be electrically neutral. Okay, but what happens if there is a number of electrons are less? Then those atoms, if the electrons are donated or accepted, so there is an imbalance into the protons and the electrons, and so that eventually that atom does not remain neutral for long. Thus atoms becomes positive or negative. So if the particle or if any atom is positively charged, then it is called as a cation. See students, whenever we write any chemical formula or we write something Al3 plus. So why do we write Al3 plus or Ca2 plus? Ca2 plus, that is, there are various reasons, and in the next topic it will be more clearer for you. But here I should know you that cations, or simply you can come to know, if the any particle, if it is carrying positive charge, then it is called as a cation. Just keep in mind right now, for this video at least, or for this topic, you just keep in mind, because all the things are going to be revealed in the next topic, why it is positive or why it is negative. That will get very clear for you in the next topic. So whenever if any particle is carrying positive charge, then it is called as a cation. If any particle is carrying negative charge, then it is called as a anion. See, suppose here is a chloride ion, Cl minus, that is called as a chloride ion. Here Br minus, why? Because these ions are formed either by gaining electron or by losing electron. Always all metals forms cation by losing electrons. Metals and non-metals, you are knowing students, metals have a tendency to lose electrons always. Metals have a tendency to lose electron and to become stable, and whenever they are losing electrons, okay, whenever they are losing electrons, that time what happens, the number of protons are being more than number of electrons. If the charge is of proton more, so that atoms are always positive. Okay, atoms of metals are always positive, because always metals are losing their electrons and attaining the positive charges on them. Okay, and so that metals are always have a cations, because they always lose electrons, and so that number of protons are more and proton charge is getting on them, and so that always metals are cation, while non-metals have capacity always to accept electrons. Whenever they are accepting electrons, that time what happens, the number of electrons are more than number of protons. So the charges of electron, means the minus charges is going on the non-metals, and so that non-metals are always having negative charge and metals are always having positive charge. Means the metals forms cations always by losing electrons, and non-metals are having always negative charge by gaining electrons. How it is formed, what is responsible, that we will talk in our further topic, but this you should know, whenever the particles, any particle would be there, if that particle is having positive charge, then that particle is called as a cation. Okay, for example here Al3 plus, Ca2 plus, and very well known example of a sodium, Na plus. Okay, so it may have, and always it is written as a 3 plus, plus 3 it is never written. Okay, keep in mind, 3 plus, 2 plus. If sodium is there, then 1 is there, 1 is never been written. Na plus it will be written. Anions always negatively charged ions. Okay, so chloride ion, bromide ion, 1 it is there, so that it is written Cl minus or Br minus. So this is all about. And whenever what happens, students, ions forms always ionic compounds. See, there are two types of compounds, covalent compounds and ionic compounds. About covalent compounds, we are not going to learn in class 9th. We are going to learn about covalent compound in class 10, how the covalent compounds are formed. But here, little bit we are going to talk about ionic compounds. Okay, ionic compounds, how does it form? So, if what would happen, if the cation and if the anion would come together, and they are going to come together as they are having opposite charges, they will combine with each other, and they will have a strong attraction in between them because of the opposite charges. As they will have a strong attraction in them, they will form a compound. Because of the negative opposite charges, they will come together and will form a strong bond, and that bond is called as a ionic bond, which will be really very strong, and that bond will give result for the ionic compound. Okay, and by which force these atoms of the ions are bonded together? That is by the electrostatic force of attraction. Okay, electrostatic force of attraction, these bonds will be joined together and will form a ionic compound. See, students, whenever atoms, we find out the mass of the atom, we say atomic mass. Okay, and whenever we try to find out the mass of the molecule, we say molecular mass. What we say for the ionic mass? We don't say ionic mass, we say formula unit mass. Okay, for atoms we use the term atomic mass, for molecule we use the term molecular mass, and whenever we try to find out the mass of the ion, we utilize the term the formula unit mass. Okay, otherwise all the things are similar, but only formula unit mass terms will be similar, means the mass will be easy automatically. So in my next topic I shall let you know all these things, means atomic mass, molecular mass, and the formula unit mass. Only the difference is of the units, otherwise everything will be same. Mass will be the same for atom, for molecule, and for this also, but little bit this will be different. So in next video I will go for only few sums based on it and the mole concept. Thank you very much.